Hi everybody, it's Vikki. So listen, I wanted to do a little video to talk about List Perfectly. I know I've done a few of them before, but this is just something that's been really weighing on me from seeing some other comments and things that are happening out on the interweb. First of all, everyone has a different way of doing business, and everyone has a different way of doing a business that works well for them, and that's okay. There is not just one right way to become successful as a reseller. And success means different things for different people. For some people, that might be millions. And for some people, it might just be a couple $1,000s a month. Whatever you're looking to do is okay. Comparing yourself to other people and their version of success is what is going to, they say the thief of joy is comparison, right? So comparing yourself to other people and thinking that you can't either measure up or you're never going to achieve those goals, that's what makes people stop doing what they're doing. So, Katy and I try to be very positive on our channel and try to encourage other resellers to be very successful at whatever level they're at and whatever level they're trying to be at. So one of the things that we talk about frequently is List Perfectly. And I'm going to touch on a couple of things here that, if you don't want to learn more about List Perfectly, you can skip this video. That's totally fine. But one of the things I want to talk about is I've been using List Perfectly since August of 2019. Right about when they came to eBay Open. I had known about them for a few months due to Teresa being such a good friend and being their first user. And I'd been kind of following, and I said, oh, these ladies have something. This is pretty awesome. And as soon as they opened it up for people to purchase subscriptions, I was on board. Now, I've also been talking about List Perfectly as long as that is, both on our channel and in our Facebook group and to people that resell as well as I do. So yes, they do have a referral program. And yes, I do make a little bit of money when I refer people, but I have to be honest, I was referring hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people long before the referral program ever existed. So this is not monetarily based. I just want you to be aware of that. Those of you that follow our channel also know that our channel is not a money-making channel. That's not why we do this. We do what we do to engage with the community and because we like helping. And that's just something that's important to both Katy and myself. But I just wanted to talk about a couple of reasons why List Perfectly and cross-posting in general, whether you use List Perfectly as a service or another service, why it works for me and why I encourage small sellers and small to medium sellers to use it for a couple of different reasons. First of all, it's more money, right? We're all in this to make money. That's kind of the nature of being self-employed or the nature of having a business at all is you're trying to increase your revenue, whatever that revenue may be. So for me, List Perfectly increased my revenue last year in 2021 by over $60,000 by just cross-posting to a couple of different platforms. Now they have, I think, 9 or 10 platforms that you can cross-post to at this point. I don't do that for all of them. For me, I learned to focus on the ones that work best for what I sell. And for those of you that watch our channel, I sell mostly vintage items, vintage women's clothing, vintage men's clothing, vintage household items, and collectibles. So for me, I'm not selling repeatables. I'm selling one-offs over and over and over again, different one-offs. So it's a new listing every time. It's a new acquisition of goods every time. And for me, I'm also selling larger return on investment. So I may buy something for $3 or $4 and I'm going to sell it for $75 to $100 or more. So my method is on, return on investment and higher average sale price, lower volume. Some people sell, like our friend Trish, who's a very successful seller, sell based on volume. They're going to sell thousands and thousands more items than I do at a lower return on investment and a lower profit margin, but it's based on volume. So she's actually a much more successful seller than I am as far as the numbers that she brings in. And she hustles her butt off. So for what she's selling, cross-posting doesn't really make sense because she's selling a lot of fast fashion, fast pricing, and it just by the time it's listed, it's selling. And that's awesome. So for me, my items are a little bit more long tail. That's just the nature of my business. So for me, long tail items mean that I'm constantly replenishing my inventory, but I'm constantly selling items that have been listed for 3 months, 6 months, a year. And that's just what works for me. My average sale price on eBay is over $60. My average sale price on Etsy is over $85. On Poshmark, it's about $40 or so. I actually thought it was lower because Poshmark for me tends to be a little bit of a lower price point. But I did a little bit of research and it's about $40 or so. The average cost for me of goods is between $2 to $5 maximum. I rarely spend more than that. And for those of you that watch our channel, every Sunday, Katie and I talk about our numbers. We talk about what we've paid for the item, what it's sold for, and what our costs are that are involved. We're pretty transparent about that kind of stuff. So for me, making an extra $60,000 by cross-posting was well worth it. I was already a six-figure seller on eBay, and I'm probably not going to be a six-figure seller on other platforms, even because they just don't have the eyes that eBay does, right? eBay's still my favorite. But an extra $60,000 or more is always welcome. So for me, it's time management. I spend about 5 hours a week cross-posting. I list a lot. I list well over 100 items a week, and I spend about 5 hours maximum cross-posting. And for that extra 5 hours, I was given an extra $1,500 on average last year per week. 5 hours, $1,500. If you break that down by an hourly rate, that makes sense. There's no way that it doesn't make sense. So the other thing, if you're looking to brand yourself, like people know that I'm LVPinkPeacock, right? Some people know that, right? So it's kind of my brand. But if you're looking to brand yourself and you're looking to brand your business, your name, your company, maybe you're selling in a niche market and you're trying to brand yourself in some way, paying money for exposure and branding across several platforms and, through Google, the world, the stratosphere in general, is very expensive. What List Perfectly does, just by nature of using their business to cross-post, you're increasing your exposure for the same amount of money that you're paying for a monthly cross-posting service. Because the more your business is out there on several platforms and in the, search engines, the more that you're increasing your exposure. So it's kind of like you're getting a little bonus by increasing your exposure just to be paying to cross-post your items. So that's always something very helpful. For me, increasing my exposure means that I'm selling on eBay, where I have one customer. I'm selling on Etsy, where I have another customer. I'm selling on Poshmark, where I have yet another customer. Those three customers are entirely different. I'm selling the same item on eBay for, say, $75, but the buyer on Etsy just paid $125 because they don't shop on eBay, and vice versa. When we talk to the millennials, as we call them, or even the zennials, my daughter's a millennial. She doesn't shop on eBay, and she's known me selling on eBay for over 20 years. She shops on Poshmark, Mercari, Depop. All of those platforms have a different target market and different target audience. So cross-posting increases the eyeballs on your items. And doing that, you're going to increase your customer base. So again, yet another reason why I think cross-posting works. It works for me, and it works for thousands and thousands of other people. If it doesn't work for you in your business plan, that's totally fine. Cross-posting is not for everyone, but the average reseller, I should say, that watches YouTube, or the average reseller that sells on eBay, that happens to be following the thrifted or the discounted item sourced platform type of selling, it is going to make sense for you. Another reason why I choose to use List Perfectly and cross-post in general is because it saves money. So time is money. I used to pay an assistant an hourly rate to manually cross-post items to Etsy for me. And that she would maybe get 5 or 6 done an hour because it's very time consuming to do it manually. Now I pay someone to do listings for me, and I don't use a VA, so an in-person person that does listings for me and creates drafts for me, and does far more with my money per week than it used to go when I was paying for cross-posting. So I freed up the hours to make more money that I can pay an assistant to help me make more money by increasing my listings. And the cross-posting service freed that up for me. It freed up the time, and it freed up the hours, and it freed up the money. So there's another benefit for me. So for $69 a month, because I use the Pro plan, for $69 a month and a handful of hours a week, I've quadrupled my exposure and increased my revenue by over $5,000 or $6,000 a month. Would you spend $69 to make $5,000? I mean, I would. I think that's a no-brainer. And my final reason, I could keep going and going and going, but my final reason for cross-posting and using List Perfectly to cross-post is that List Perfectly is ideally optimized for your listings. If you create your listings in the List Perfectly catalog, you are already choosing all of the pertinent item specifics that are going to cross right into eBay, We all know eBay and their item specifics, right? So it is what it is. But you got to play the game, and they're there for a reason. So your listings are optimized through item specifics, but they're also optimized for, in general, SEO. We hear these terms bantered about. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Your listings are going to maintain the highest quality of photo, and they're going to maintain, because of the type of website and program that Amanda and Clara have built with List Perfectly, your listings are going to maintain and retain the optimal settings for search engine optimization. So what that means is when a buyer types in green Patagonia small sweatshirt on Google, your listings will rank higher than someone that is not using a program like that. That's really what that means. Search engine optimization. It's the general search engine when someone is going in and typing into a Google search specifically to look for an item. So your items are going to be ranked higher because of that. So for me, all of these things combined make List Perfectly and cross-posting in general very, very valuable for my business. I've been a reseller for more than 20 years. And for me, I can say that the only thing that even comes close to being as important to my reselling business in the entire couple of decades I've been doing this has been the invention of the smartphone, okay? Before we were able to research and look anything up. That's the only thing that may rival what List Perfectly has done for my business. So if it's something you haven't tried out, I definitely suggest you should. Yes, there is a referral code. My referral code will be down below it, but it's LVPinkPeacock. And what that will do for you, it's gonna give you 30% off of your first month. You also have a 3-day money-back guarantee when you sign up for List Perfectly. I highly encourage you to try the program, see what it does for you. Do the 30% off and try it for 1 month. If you haven't made your money back by using this program the way you're supposed to within the first month, then you're doing it wrong. And feel free to ask me if you have questions. There is a huge List Perfectly community and group. There is a Facebook group with almost 9,000 people in it that are all people that use the program and freely give information and answer questions. You're welcome to join and ask questions in our Boss Facebook group, and you can send me messages. I'm happy to answer questions. What I do day in and day out is answer questions and emails and DMs from people for free. I am very happy to share my knowledge and my experience as a reseller without charging money for it. I think that there's enough out there for everyone, and I'm perfectly happy to help share my knowledge. And if I can help you make money, save time, and make money for yourself, that's reward enough for me. So, in conclusion, these are my reasons for using List Perfectly and using cross-posting service. And I would like to hear your reasons below. If you have reasons against it, go ahead and add your comments. I'm not going to delete comments. I'd like to hear pros and cons from both of you. And that's it. And I will see you on Sunday's show. Have a great day.